Today, at the Dana Point Resort in Dana Point, California, Greatest Sports Legends looks at the career of one of the greatest home run hitters in baseball history. A man who once hit 3 home runs in a single World Series game and earned the nickname Mr. October. Hi, I'm Kurt Gowdy, and of course, I'm talking about the great superstar, Reggie Jackson. You know, I broadcast Major League Baseball for 29 years, saw a lot of the best, and one of my favorite players was Reggie Jackson. I don't think a lot of people remember just how great an all-around player Reggie was when he was a youngster with the Oakland A's. He could field, he could throw, he could steal a base, he could hit, and he could hit with power. But over his career, Reggie Jackson had that uncanny ability to rise to the occasion. So today we're going to talk to Reggie and look at some of the greatest highlights as we relive the career of Mr. October, Reggie Jackson.
Gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it over his man Jones. Havlicek stole the ball.
Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's in for the touchdown, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions. Affirmed under a left-hand whip. Allier on the outside driving. Affirmed to Allier. Heads apart. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Reggie Jackson, one of the greatest clutch hitters in baseball history. During his 21 years in the major leagues, Jackson was the man who could turn a game around with just one powerful swing. But what made Reginald Martinez Jackson extra special was his uncanny ability to rise to the occasion in the World Series, a time when the games mattered the most. It seemed like the more dramatic the situation, the more likely Reggie Jackson would blast a home run, as if he thrived on those moments when the pressure was the greatest.
I truly believed that I was the best in those situations, and I wanted everything to be right for the opposition. I wanted the guy to feel very confident and come after me because I honestly felt that I was going to capitalize upon the situation and win.
Reggie Jackson's ability to come through in the clutch, especially in the World Series, made his name one of the most memorable in all of baseball. Yet surprisingly, when Reggie was a youngster growing up in a small town outside Philadelphia, baseball was not his favorite sport. Football was a sport he loved, and in fact, he went to Arizona State University on a football scholarship. But in his sophomore year, Reggie went out for the baseball team and soon found himself leading the Sun Devils in home runs and RBIs. And after that season, Reggie signed a baseball contract with Charles Finley, the owner of the Kansas City Athletics. And as they say, the rest is history. After playing only 2 years in the minor leagues, Reggie reached the majors in 1968. As a raw-boned rookie, Reggie brought a powerful bat and an aggressive style of play to his ball club.
I was a football player playing baseball. I was built like a football player, had an attitude of a football player, and just enjoyed contact and just physically mixing it up with people. You didn't have to control your temper nearly as much playing football as you did with baseball, so it was a lot more suited for my personality.
By taking his aggressions out on the baseball, Reggie emerged as one of the game's newest superstars. In 1969, he blasted 47 home runs for the A's, who now had moved from Kansas City to Oakland, California. Reggie was voted to the All-Star team that year, the first of 12 appearances he would make throughout his career. It was at this event, the All-Star Game, where Reggie put on one of his more memorable displays of power. The year was 1971, the site, Tiger Stadium.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof. That hit the transformer up there.
The emergence of Reggie Jackson helped turn the Oakland Athletics into a winning ball club. The A's were a group of young and brash ball players who played well together on the field, but off the field, they fought like cats and dogs.
Blue Moon Odom fought with Raleigh Fingers. Blue Moon fought with Tommy Reynolds. Campaneris fought with Vida. Angel Manguel. It was unbelievable, the fights we had on the ball club. But when we got out and play and on a baseball field, we fought as a unit against the opposition. And it really wasn't over-dramatized. We did fight as a family, like brothers and sisters. When we got on the field, we gave the opposition hell just like a family would as well.
In 1972, the Fighting A's won the Western Division and faced the Detroit Tigers for the American League pennant. In the deciding fifth game, the A's went on to win the league championship, but not before Reggie Jackson suffered a pulled hamstring on the tail end of a double steal. This injury would prevent Reggie from playing in his first World Series. The A's took on the Cincinnati Reds in the Fall Classic that year, and thanks to the surprising performance of Gene Tennis, the A's backup catcher, who hit 4 home runs in the series, Oakland won the World Series title. For Reggie Jackson, however, the victory celebration was bittersweet.
I felt a little bit of me crying every day because I wanted to participate. And then when we won the World Series, I couldn't even join in the fun. I couldn't run. I couldn't jump up and down. It made no sense to drink champagne and get hammered. It was kind of an empty feeling. And in 1973, I remember saying in spring training, I'm going to the World Series again. Are you guys coming?
It was understandable why Reggie was so anxious to reach the World Series again. After all, he was the kind of player that lived for those pressure-packed situations. Well, in 1973, Reggie made good on his promise. He led the American League in home runs, RBIs, and runs scored. It was an MVP performance that helped bring the Oakland A's back for another World Series appearance. This time, a healthy Reggie Jackson was determined to make up for last year's absence, and the New York Mets would have to pay for it. In the 1973 World Series, the Oakland A's faced the New York Mets. This marked the first time Reggie Jackson ever appeared in the Fall Classic, and the Oakland A's star came through in the clutch. Throughout the series, Reggie shined on both offense and defense, where he played center field for the first time all year.
There's a drive into left center. Jackson back. On the run, he has it. He saved a run there.
But his biggest contribution came in the deciding seventh game. With the A's leading 2-0 in the third inning, Reggie put the Mets away with this timely at-bat.
There's a long drive. Jackson got all of that one, and it is gone. A home run.
Reggie's 2-run blast led the A's to their second straight World Series victory, and fittingly, Reggie was named the series' most valuable player. After missing last year's World Series because of an injury, this championship was extra special for Reggie Jackson.
You know, I think it's easy to tell you how I feel or felt at the time, because the film, I'll always remember there's a clip of me hitting a home run, and it has me jumping on home plate. That's how I felt. Just overjoyed, excited, fulfilled. And in Pennsylvania, we used to say, happy as a lark in Willow Grove Park. Doesn't even exist anymore, but it was just a wonderful, wonderful feeling for me, and one that I'll never forget.
Reggie's good vibrations continued through the next season as the A's reached the World Series for the third straight year. With Jackson hitting the long ball, Oakland once again prevailed, proving to everyone that they were one of the great teams in baseball history. Ironically, they were also one of the lowest paid teams in baseball, a testament to the frugal ownership of one Charles O. Finley.
Charlie O was a different person, to say the least. In dealing with him at contract time, it was as if he was doing you a favor. He was giving you this money. In 1975, going into the 76 season, I led the league in home runs with 36. I had 104 RBIs. I hit 253. And we lost in the playoffs to the Red Sox after winning the World Series 3 years in a row. And the year before, I'd hit 290. And he says to me, he says, you went way, way down in batting average. You killed a lot of rallies striking out. Yeah, you led the league in homers, and you had over 100 RBIs, but, you know, I was paying you $135,000 a year, and you should drive in 100 runs, and you should hit 30 home runs. So really, you only hit 6 more, and you only had 4 more extra RBIs. And your batting average went way down to 253. He said, and a superstar like you should be embarrassed having a year like that, hitting such a low batting average. And when he got done talking to me, I believed him. I walked out of the room, and when I got to camp, he sent me a $2,500 raise, and I was happy. That's Charlie Finley for you.
During his first 8 seasons with Oakland, Reggie Jackson had averaged 32 home runs and 91 RBIs a season, and was a vital member of an A's team that won 3 straight World Series titles. However, on April 2nd, 1976, Reggie and the A's would part company when Finley decided to trade his slugging superstar to the Baltimore Orioles.
I was shocked, devastated. I didn't know how to take it, to be honest with you. Charlie Finley, I think, was trading Reggie Jackson to prove to the rest of the team that if I trade this guy, I will trade any one of you if you try to rebel on me, because I was firmly entrenched in Oakland. I was starting some businesses there and was just becoming a part of the community. And, you know, from then on in, I really took the game on really as a professional and took it on as a business, and was really awakened in 1976.
After a brief holdout, Reggie played that year in Baltimore, where he led the Orioles with 27 home runs and 91 RBIs. At the end of the season, Reggie Jackson, the businessman, decided to test the free agent market. And he wound up signing with George Steinbrenner and the New York Yankees. And the biggest chapter of his storybook career was about to unfold. Reggie Jackson came to the Yankees as a free agent in 1977. Everyone wondered how this brash superstar would fit in. The New York media described him as a cocky and arrogant player, and basically created a lot of tension before he even arrived. When Reggie did join his new team, he discovered there was a big difference between the New York Yankees and his former team, the Oakland A's.
There was no comparison of clubhouses. There was great family unity in Oakland. There was almost having been bred, but with the same players for 8, 9, 10 years through the minor leagues. With the Yankees, I was different. I was an outcast. And I made a few statements in spring training that people weren't very fond of, and the media jumped right on that and sees an opportunity to separate the ball club in opinions and create different camps. Players moved their lockers from the area I was in. I was right up near the front of the locker room, and it was just a very strange situation.
One statement that Reggie made that seemed to offend his teammates the most was published in Sport magazine early that season. It quoted Reggie as saying, "I'm the straw that stirs the drink."
I was the missing link. I was the straw that stirred the drink. But I said it wrong. improperly. I didn't say it the right way. And there were a lot of players there, a lot of great players there, like Nettles, like Munson, like Catfish Hunter, like Sparky Lyle, like Chris Chambliss, like Willie Randolph, Mickey Rivers, that, you know, they wanted to be thought of as very, very important too. And really, without some of those players, without Nettles, without Hunter, without Guidry, without Munson, then the ball club would have still been missing that ingredient. So I said the right thing, but I said it improperly.
As it turned out, Reggie Jackson was the catalyst the Yankees were looking for. That first year, Reggie hit 32 homers and drove in 110 runs to put New York into the World Series, where they faced the Los Angeles Dodgers. In Game 6, with the Yankees leading 3-2, Reggie had the kind of performance the legends are made of. After walking his first time at bat, Reggie faced Bert Hooton in the 4th inning. Reggie's 2-run home run gave the Yankees a 4-3 lead, but Reggie's heroics had just begun. In the next inning, Reggie faced Elias Sosa.
Sosa set. The pitch. Right field and deep. Way back. Going.
Again, on the first pitch, Reggie hit another home run. With the game and the series now headed the Yankees' way, the fans broke into a chant shouting, "Reggie, Reggie," for their new World Series hero. But Reggie was not done yet. In his very next time at bat, Reggie faced knuckleballer Charlie Huff, and the Yankee fans wondered if Reggie could possibly do it again. Amazingly, Reggie did it. His 3 straight home runs in one game was a World Series record and helped the New York Yankees win their first World Series title since 1962. Named the series MVP, Reggie had every right to feel vindicated for a season in which he struggled just to be accepted by his teammates.
After the 3rd home run running around the bases, I just felt like I was running on air. I was so proud and felt so good for my father, who was sitting in the stands, because I had such a tough time during 1977 that my parents, they couldn't come to the game because of the abuse and verbal abuse, vocal abuse I was taking, with the media abuse I was taking. But I felt so good afterward. I honestly felt like I was running about 6 inches to a foot off the ground when I was circling the bases.
Reggie's World Series heroics earned him the nickname Mr. October, and his reputation as a clutch hitter continued the next year when he blasted 2 more home runs to help lead the Yankees to their 2nd straight World Series title. Once labeled as cocky and arrogant by the New York press, Reggie proved that he had the ability to back up his words, and in doing so, he became one of the most entertaining figures in sports history. In 1982, Reggie Jackson became a free agent and left the New York Yankees to join the California Angels. In Reggie's first year with California, he led the major leagues with 39 home runs and helped the Angels capture the Western Division title. Although Reggie would never be able to lead California to the World Series, he did supply their fans with many great moments, such as the time when Reggie hit his 500th career home run.
Here's the pitch to Reggie. Swung on, and there it goes. This is number 500, and watch him stroll. Goodbye, a home run for Reggie Jackson, number 500.
Hitting my 500th home run, I felt as though I was branded as a great player. I wasn't a Ruth, I wasn't an Aaron, I wasn't a Willie Mays or a DiMaggio or a Mickey Mantle. But when they called roll call for all the greats, I felt that allowed me into the corral, and that's how I received it.
Certainly one of the all-time greats, Reggie Jackson hit 563 home runs during his career, and that is 6th on the all-time list. But just as impressive, Reggie was a ball player who knew how to win. 10 times he was on a division-winning ball club. 6 times, his team won the pennant. And 5 times, Reggie was a World Series champion. And how would Reggie like to be remembered?
I'd like to have people say he was a winner, he was a champion, he was there. He always answered the phone when you called. When you rang the bell, he answered the bell. He never had an excuse. He was one of the greatest clutch players that ever played. He was Mr. October.
I've covered baseball a long time. I've seen a lot of great ball players. And I'd have to say that Reggie Jackson was one of the greatest and most entertaining players that I ever had the privilege to broadcast. Besides his ability to come through in the clutch, Reggie was also an exciting player who brought his own aggressive style to the game and made the sport of baseball a lot more fun to watch. I'm Kurt Gowdy. I'd like to thank you for joining us today on Greatest Sports Legends.